Hi empaths, welcome back to my channel and back to Journey Through the Tarot. This week we're talking about our week with the Three of Cups and introducing the history, symbolism, and divination of the Four of Cups. This journey is inspired by Dirty and Divine, A Transformative Journey Through Tarot by Alice B. Grist. She spent a day with each card. We're just spending a week. And I'm getting a lot of the information from the Tarot, History, Symbolism, and Divination by one of my tarot teachers, Robert M. Place. And we're using the Waite-Smith Symbolism in the Rider Tarot deck. So if you need any of those items, they're available in my Amazon store, linked below. All other links are in the description as well. Still working on Patreon. And again, I just want to make that really perfect, and I'm trying not to get into perfectionistic mode, but I just want to do more research and make sure I'm offering something of value there, and something that I can sustain and hold up my end of the bargain. So it's worth your while to want to support, and it's also something that I can effectively manage, right, my time and energy into doing really quality work over there. I've already started doing crystal messages, daily inspirational messages that you can use for divination or just simply daily inspiration or simple healing exercise, right? Conversational healing. That's mainly what I've been working on. I'm considering doing an exclusive podcast over there. We'll see. I have to weigh that out and see if that's even beneficial to do. But anyway, let's get started talking about our week, my week with the Three of Cups, which was very, very celebratory. You know, I'm still riding high from the Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins event and celebrating life every single day, getting, you know, the most voltage I can out of my muscles, right? Because the quality of life is determined by your energy, and the quality of your energy is determined by your voltage, and that's stored in your muscles. So using movement, particularly celebratory moves, dancing with Kinergy as often as I can. They work with the elements, which I love. Yeah, very inspired by them. Julianne Hough's dance was a website, but it's like a dance group. They're all amazing, phenomenal dancers, but also great leaders, right? Instructors that you enjoy spending time with there. So that's really inspiring. And I feel like I connected. There was a real focus on relationships this week. I prioritized relationships this week. It just felt natural. It felt in the flow to really connect with people in my life and to offer support, to feel supported. It felt natural. It felt like it was coming from a place of overflow because I was getting in touch with my voltage. I was feeling high on life. And I had missed last week's family constellation class. It was a 4-week class. This was the 4th week. So I played catch-up work this week. And so I watched last week's class and then also attended live because I wanted to attend live for the last class. And it was beautiful. You know, it was a healing circle of women, right? It was all women in attendance. And at the end, the instructor, Susie Tucker, who is the main facilitator who trained me in family constellations, when I did the 8-month training, she closed the class because, you know, when you come together like that and you're doing deep healing and sharing very vulnerable parts of yourself with a group, you form a community. It becomes its own system, its own constellation, and you're connected and intertwined in this very, it feels magical sense, right? Some kind of field of consciousness connects you all, and you could really feel that. And I felt moved by everybody, and it was so moving because at the end Susie acknowledged that while we were parting ways, we would be taking a piece of each other with us for the rest of our lives. And I almost cried when she said that. It was very beautiful. It's very true, because I was very touched by each woman's story and place in the system that they were navigating and managing, and the challenges that came with that, and the healing and expansion and unburdening that could come with acknowledgement. And that was an exercise from last week that came in for this week, was acknowledging what is, right? Becoming a reporter and observing as if you were looking into someone else's landscape, and sort of observing, just reporting on the facts. What do you notice? Can you accept that a little bit more? Get more in touch with reality. That was very moving to me, because often, we find, this is how she put it, we find ourselves in the waiting room of life, even though we already have the information needed to take action, but we're waiting for something to change, or someone else to change, or for the past to change, right? It can be as illogical as that. And we're playing the waiting game. And what is a simple acknowledgement you can have that can open up your awareness, create more movement forward, and I sort of took a step back from being in it, right, in the position, in my system, and acknowledged about myself that, I always identified with the good girl label, but I sort of expanded my view a little bit, and I also acknowledged how I'm also very rebellious. So part of, right, like leaving, but like wanting to do something new, not wanting to create the same experience in a way that is a rebel in the system, not wanting to be confined by the same limitations, particularly as a woman, and wanting to do something different. And the way I was managing that, navigating that, was conforming in certain ways, right? Making concessions in certain ways so that I felt like I had more permission or more of a right? There was enough of a pool of goodwill that I could extract from it a bit in order to kind of go my own way or make decisions apart from this very enmeshed field. So I realized that, and when I did realize that, I was less hard on myself. I was less impatient with myself, and I was able to see that life was unfolding before me with a precision and timing that was perfect. And that I may have been putting pressure on myself and being impatient in order to sort of avoid avoid accepting maybe that my life looks different than other people's. So when I was able to get into a more patient place, I opened up to more self-compassion, and my relationship to myself improved and healed a bit, and therefore my relationship to life shifted as well, and there's less urgency. I feel more connected. I feel more alive, and less pressure, less rushing, less separateness. I feel more belonging, which is what we're really after. With all of these mental tricks we do, it's sort of to avoid this idea that we may not belong, that we might not be appropriate, we might not be lovable, we might be too much, we might not be enough, we might not belong. And I feel more centered, I feel more stable and grounded in this sense of belonging. And last week, it was probably just a few days ago, I published a You're the Psychic video, and those have transformed. Those have been wanting to be more healing meditations. So it is sharpening your psychic senses with a blind constellation in the beginning, and then once the reveal happens, we do healing work around that aspect. So it's not just leaving you hanging. Not that the former videos were leaving you hanging in any way, but they definitely wanted to transform. And I really acknowledged that and added a little healing work at the end. And it's sort of just an improvisation to the images that come in, how I want to navigate. Like I plan it out a little bit. Like I think, okay, yeah, I'll navigate them here, and then we'll go here, and then we'll do this, and then, but it shifts and transforms as I'm doing it. So it's sort of a spiritual improv. But I think that sometimes the things that feel the most effortless are the most masterful. Sometimes when I find when I'm striving really hard and trying really hard to make something great, it falls short of my expectations. And you can really sense the effort, the white knuckling, and sometimes the simplest, most effortless is the most powerful. So I'm proud of that. And then also something that came in with the family constellations, Susie Tucker, the facilitator, was talking about, and I took her 8-month training, so I'm very familiar with how she does constellation work. And one of the things she often does for a woman is have the woman stand in the line of women, being acknowledged by the line of women in her ancestry on the mother's side, and acknowledging or taking a gift from each woman, which was not appropriate to be expressed in the physical world due to the role of women in our culture. And now I'm free to express it, which honors them and provides freedom for them too, and enriches my experience, really nourishes me, or the woman. I put myself in the shoes already. The woman that she's working with, right? Taking a gift from each ancestor, being seen and acknowledged by each woman in the family system. Really taking in a gift from each ancestor and seeing how that's something I can deliver to the world, or the woman can deliver to the world. yeah, powerful women have been coming in a lot this week. I actually felt like I had ordered too many books recently, and I thought I'm going to return some of these books. And I was kind of looking through them. I bought a lot about powerful women and women in art. One called Anonymous is a woman, right? Women not getting credit. And, you know, I opened up a book about Hildegard von Bingen, who was an abbess in Germany. It was before the time of the burning of the witches, but it was still not acceptable for women to speak up, share their gifts. And there was a part of, I opened up the book because I was considering returning it, because I had bought 3 books about Hildegard, and I thought, is that, maybe I went overboard here, overkill? Am I ever going to read these books? But what I forgot is sometimes you just have your library there, and you can use the books for divination too, and just sort of open up to a page and skim it and then land on something, and it has meaning for you in that moment. And I do think, so I did return some books, but I kept the ones that I felt I could use in that way. Maybe not read cover to cover necessarily, but if they were digestible in that way. And something I had landed on earlier this week was a paragraph in a book about Hildegard von Bingen about how for 4 decades she didn't share her gifts. She was a visionary. She had visions from spirit, and she didn't share with anybody for 4 decades. And it was sort of assumed that it was because of her womanly timidity, because it was ingrained in women that it's appropriate for you to be silent and humble and know your place in society, right? And that women who sort of spoke out or saw things differently, or had an opinion on anything, were sort of were compared to Eve. And Eve was, thought to have caused the downfall of mankind. And, so women who had any sort of gift or a voice or message were silenced in that way. And the punishments could be very extreme. So, so I kind of get why she didn't share. And I think that's still strongly in the collective for women, this force, this unseen, but still very present force of, if you're going to speak, you really have to prove that you have something to say. Meanwhile, there's a lot of people talking, and you wonder, wow, they really thought they were saying something there. Why did they have the right to speak? And here I am waiting until I have a really solid opinion, or I have something really intelligent and studied and tested to say before I have the right. And who's holding that over me now? It may still be this invisible force. I may never get the permission outside of myself, right? Sort of that comes back to that idea of waiting for something to change, waiting for your surroundings to change, waiting for other people to change. I already have what I need to take action. I already have what I need. Maybe I just need the acknowledgement from myself, the acknowledgement of what is. And I think reading that paragraph just spoke to my heart and my soul. And I've been sharing it with every woman I know. I've actually even thought about doing a series on this channel about all the empowered women I'm learning about, because I feel like women have really been written out of history. It is called his story after all. And just learning that information has made a difference for me. And I'm very comfortable. Like, I went to musical theater school. Clearly, I like to perform. Clearly, I like to be on camera. But there's still part of me that feels more comfortable behind the scenes, that feels more comfortable in preparation, that feels more comfortable in a supporting role. And isn't that a shame? Like, when you're born to be a star, you cast yourself in a supporting role. There's something really sad about that to me. And I can't really make peace with that. So I'm ready to shift out of that and do whatever it takes to expand my view there. What am I not seeing, right? I really want to get more clarity about that and own my power more and feel more comfortable with my power, feel more comfortable shining my light, speaking my truth, acknowledging that I don't know everything. I don't have to know everything, that I can be growing and still, be putting things out there. And like I'm doing here, there's part of me I feel on this channel, like I grew my Instagram. I really focused over there and grew. And the way I did it was just letting my information and my intuition take the lead, right? I didn't put my image out there for a very long time. It was really more about my techniques, my tools, and information, and it wasn't about me at all. And I felt very comfortable doing that and building that way. And I guess that's really great in one way. And then I felt like I put myself out there a little bit over there, but it was really like I really had mixed feelings about doing it. So I started navigating people to YouTube because I felt like the people that really care, the people that really resonate will stick around here. And I can separate this out somehow. It just felt safer. It's hard to explain, but it felt safer to come here and do more video work here and put myself out there visually. And then Instagram I didn't feel that free over there to do that. So I just have to trust that for whatever reason. And sort of same with Facebook, you sort of just feel it out. But yeah, I'm still learning to navigate. And I'm excited about, I'm putting together something it's called an online show. It's going to be like an online summit where I'm going to interview experts. The idea I have for it will be how I'm not set on a title quite yet, but it's going to be about how artists are healers, and they're, about the bridge or intersection of the arts and creativity and healing and spirituality, and how so many artists I know are healers, are spiritual people. And then people that are on a spiritual healing path often express through art and creativity. And, I had that realization after I left musical theater school and had done some performing work, and then sort of effortlessly moved into healing arts, from the performing arts into healing arts. And I think a lot of people find that, and finding a way to incorporate both is what I'm working on now. And I had a conversation with my friend Cassie today, and we decided that We have so much fun. We decided that we're going to start filming or recording our conversations on Zoom, and just seeing if we can catch anything that's worth sharing. I mean, we laugh so hard at some of the ridiculous things that we come up with over there, because I was acknowledging that I feel like a different person when I'm presenting maybe spiritual information or healing tools, and there's definitely a different mode to get into entertainment mode. And this has been on my radar. I've been talking about this for a while, how I feel like it's like this separate, this compartmentalized identity. And when I watch back like spiritual videos for Urban Empath channel, I definitely see my mentors coming out. Like, okay, that's something maybe I would hear Krista say, and maybe her cadence even. And then, oh, there's Shelley, or, you know, all the women who have mentored me, influenced me as an artist and a healer, mostly a healer, because that's what I'm about over here. And then I definitely feel like I'm a unique expression of exactly who I am when I do more entertainment stuff. It does feel more effortless, but I'm trying to do a better job of combining that and being more of myself. So I'm not sure exactly what switch gets flipped. I don't know exactly. But it's very similar to when I would get on stage and sort of banter with the audience. It was very effortless, natural, and fun and playful. And people naturally wanted to laugh during that. And then I would get into singer mode. And I was trained classically as a singer, so it was very hard to get out of that, like that conditioning. It's just so conditioned into my body, the classical technique. And I've done a lot to work on vowel modulation and breath control and, you know, balancing breath and muscle and placement and resonance. And I really, you know, and frequency, you know, I've really worked hard on mastering that. And it never quite got there, because unlearning is so much more difficult than learning something, isn't it? So, but yeah, so Cassie and I were talking about that today, and we were laughing. And so I'm not sure where I would share that. I don't know. As I was telling her, like, if I shared some of the things we were talking about on my Urban Empath channel, people would be like, what the heck is that? I would be completely unrecognizable, I feel. And maybe I don't really perceive it completely clearly. I don't know, but I don't think so. I really think it's a complete departure from how I show up here. And I'd really like to resolve that. Like, I'd like to be more of myself. I've been trying to. But yeah, I feel like this week I spent time with my mother and let her cook for me. She loves, she'll complain about it, but she loves cooking for people and having people enjoy her food. It really lights her up. And, you know, it's not always great for me because it is a lot of bread and pasta, and we are Italian after all. But it tastes good, so I'm trying to balance that experience with healthy eating, things that are healthy and friendly for me. But it was fun to sort of enjoy her and just enjoy what she wants to, provide, and show appreciation for that. I haven't always been great about that. I used to be very combative and again, it's like one more concession I feel like I have to make, because on one hand, you know, I do feel like it's important to be able to appreciate and accept the gifts your mother wants to give. Like, how do you want to receive from her? What is she willing to give? But at the same time, that really can border on enmeshment sometimes, I'm trying to navigate that, bring some balance here. But yeah, I've put her through a lot in that sense too, because I've always rebellious about, there was a time where I refused to eat any meat and things like that. And like in high school, I was just very strong-willed about that and very judgmental, which in family constellations training, they will say that having judgment about something is a way of separating yourself from it. So, not wanting to see your part in it or whatever. So just trying to be more in touch with the truth, and acknowledge, and celebrate the women in my life this past week. I think I did a really good job of that. And I even celebrated some men too. They deserve it too. It's just, oftentimes women don't get the credit, or at least we feel that way sometimes. So whether or not that's accurate, that might be perceptive. I don't know. But I do tend to think that it's just better if we celebrate each other because, waiting for those kudos, it's wait a while. You're gonna wait a while waiting for that credit, particularly if, your role is the healer to, bring a departure to the structure of a family system. You're not going to be appreciated. It's not something people appreciate at all. You know what I mean? Not at all. Not in the slightest. You're going to get a lot of resistance, a lot of, guilt tripping and manipulation, and you just, you stand your ground. But this week I was able to celebrate. This week I was able to receive gifts and show appreciation and gratitude and celebration, and that always feels best. So can't say I ate healthy this week, but I was celebrating. It was a week of celebration. So nailed it. Nailed that part. We definitely celebrated. So that was a great week celebrating. What was your week like with the Three of Cups? It's amazing how, I feel like the cards are coming to me. The cards are showing up to me and revealing themselves during times of healing and change and learning about healing technologies and theories and techniques, and seeing how the tarot cards are associated. And it then becomes my own unique language with the archetypes. And like, that's the goal here, right? That's why we're working with them for a week, working with the archetype to see how it shows up and our personal relationship with them. So it improves if, you're working with them for healing archetype, like self-actualization and creating stronger filters around the archetype, or embodying it more, right? Embodying celebration of life more, embodying appreciation and gratitude more, celebrating women, female empowerment, and so integrating. And then if it's more of a negative aspect or archetype to you, well, integrating that can actually create a stronger filter around it, right? And close the gap of the shadow self. Greater, stronger self-actualization is what the goal really is, but also forming a relationship and creating a language around this. It takes people sometimes a long time to really understand the symbolism here. And, we can learn the facts, we can learn the history, we can memorize the meanings, the divinatory meanings as given. But if you can deepen your understanding through immersion, experiential knowledge that really gets into your body, the symbolisms that come in throughout the week. It enriches the meaning for you and makes it more personal. Then it'll personalize your readings. It'll personalize your relationship. And that's what we're looking for here, right? What's your relationship to the cards? And then your readings and interpretations of the storyboards that you'll create with these cards or spreads, however you work with them, will be so unique. It'll have your personal touch. So that's worthwhile too, right? All right, so that was 3 of Cups. Share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear how your week went, what came in for you, and let's look at the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups, a man sits under a tree as in meditation, but his arms are folded defensively. His mood is open for interpretation. He is contemplating 3 cups, but another unexpectedly is delivered out of a cloud. This card represents a message, such as a telephone call. It is further news about a situation that has already developed. The man's mood may suggest that the news is unwelcomed. He's a bit moody, don't mind him. He's not really celebrating life, is he? So what might it mean if this shows up in a spread? The divination. Not seeing a gift or opportunity, only seeing 3 of Cups down here. Dissatisfied, not open to receive. The grass is greener on the other side. Victim mentality. Closed off and looking at spilled milk. Not seeing value in connection in front of them because they're looking at other people or opportunities. A young man is seated under a tree and contemplates 3 cups set on the grass before him. He expresses discontent with his environment. An arm issuing from a cloud offers him another cup. And the meaning there, weariness, disgust, aversion, imaginary vexations, as if the wine of this world had caused satiety only. Another cup of wine, as if a fairy gift, is now offered him, but he sees no consolation therein. This is also a card of blended pleasure. Feeling ambivalent towards one's blessings. This is Alice B. Grist's intuitive meaning. Feeling ambivalent towards one's blessings, meditating and perhaps mediating on choice, becoming serious and solemn whilst trying to control life, not recognizing the freedom and gifts of an alternative. Get out of your head and into your heart. And then let's go to the Biddy Tarot. I bought her book, Bridget. What's her last name? I don't know her last name, actually. I forgot. But I bought her book. It's really good. I was skimming through it today. Meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation. When the 4 of Cups turns up in a tarot reading, new invitations and opportunities are flowing to you. But for now, you're saying no and turning them away. Perhaps the prospects do not interest you, or your cup is full, or you already have too much on your plate. Use your discernment to decide on what is truly important to you, and don't be afraid to decline new projects that don't align with your future path. The 4 of Cups can also indicate a time when you are turning your attention and your energy internally to realign to this new phase of your life. You know that you need to be standing on terra firma before you can decide your next steps. While you may need to decline some very alluring opportunities, you do so knowing you will be in a better position to say yes to the opportunities that are a better fit for you. You are creating the space within yourself so that you are ready to accept new opportunities later and give them the best possibility of success. Use this time for inward reflection, grounding, and contemplation before accepting the next big thing. Sometimes this card brings the message, not now, but maybe later. While the man in the 4 of Cups doesn't accept the cups offered to him, he doesn't wholly reject them either. You may be waiting for a sign or further information before taking an invitation or new project. Check in emotionally and spiritually before you say yes to make sure the opportunity is a good fit and that you can commit to it in the long term. The Four of Cups can appear when you are bored or dissatisfied with your everyday life. You may feel disengaged, apathetic, or unmotivated. Maybe life has become dull. The Four of Cups invites you to bring your attention inward and reevaluate your situation to find a deeper meaning in what you do. You may have found yourself disconnected from your emotional self and inner truth, and need to reestablish this connection so you can get a greater sense of purpose and direction. Now could be an excellent time to switch off from the distractions of the external world, social media, the news, and other people's stories, to allow you the space to listen to your own voice and inner knowing and gain more clarity. The Four of Cups may show that you have shut yourself off from new opportunities because you have been hurt or rejected before. The man in this card has his arms crossed as if protecting himself and closing off from the external world. You may have had a relationship end in heartbreak or experienced failure in your career and now want to avoid getting in the same predicament again. However, you may miss out on new opportunities that are an excellent fit for you. Check in on a soul level and question whether shutting yourself down is the best course of action, or if it's time to open up to the possibilities available to you. So, it will be nice to have some immunity around dissatisfaction, boredom. Did I turn that off? So, sorry for shaking it. So let's integrate our celebratory week of female empowerment with the Three of Cups and whatever came in for you as far as personal symbolism or, meaning or story that will improve that or reinforce that relationship and association with that archetype. And then what we just learned about the Four of Cups, let's invite in synchronicities with the sound of the frosted crystal singing bowl. So you might want to close your eyes, get in touch with your breath, and just intend that we integrate that week, all the lessons that came in, the symbols, the experiences. We immersed ourselves in that card. We're celebrating that. And then inviting synchronicities to really deepen our understanding and create stronger filters and integrate the wisdom of the archetype of the Four of Cups that we just learned about. Beautiful. All right. So another really amazing week, connecting even more deeply. And now we have this new language, new vocabulary of symbols, right? So we can really speak directly to the subconscious. So I hope you're enjoying this process. Thanks for liking the video, subscribing to the channel. That means a lot to me. That's valuable to me. So let me know if I'm bringing value to you here. Any ideas for what you'd like to see on this channel? I'm open. What you'd like to see on Patreon, what might be value there. I'll put all my links in the description if you want a personal session or personal reading. We'll get to know you better, right? And if you want to donate to the channel, all the links will be in the description, all right? So I look forward to hearing from you and connecting on one-on-one level. Enjoy your week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Empath.